The Jacob Media Sports Network, in partnership with 97.3 ESPN, brings you the Mays and Eytan Show.
Middays with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander.
Now, it's the Midday Show with Harry Mays and Eytan Shander on 97.3 ESPN Radio.
You know, this whole thing ties together. Because the reason why I'm asking Josh that question before we started the show today, Harry,
the question
Monday,
that nobody heard?
Correct.
Okay.
Is because I'm shot to you-know-what today
as
a result of filling in for the guy that you just heard give our 97.3 ESPN Bet Center.
Oh, so you couldn't resist to doing another show. Why can't you just say no?
Well, because I don't have any work now outside of this show for another 6 days. So
you got enough work.
I have a mortgage, you know. I just paid for a ring.
Well,
I got a mortgage.
Yeah, you're just buying too much stuff.
Well, these things are actually, it's not like I'm going out there buying a Shelby. I couldn't afford a Bryce Shelby at this point. What do you got today?
I got nothing.
Good. Well, neither do I.
I got nothing because the Phillies got nothing. They lose 2 out of 3 to the godforsaken White Sox, who stink out loud.
Now, come on.
And yet they're still right there in the wild card race. What do you mean, come on?
Like, there can't be any real emotion being showed about this team losing this deep into the season, a series as bad as
that game Friday night, I mean, I don't know who stayed up to watch all 15 innings of it, but that was a farce.
To watch a position player?
Yeah, you could have a Velasquez trying to throw people out from left field. You got Roman Quinn, who's made a couple of appearances now on the mound. I mean, I know why this guy's been brought up on the roster. They need him to pitch every couple of games.
Roman Quinn's got more appearances than Velasquez this year, right?
Velasquez goes tonight. Now they go to Arizona for 3 starting tonight.
I'm out. You couldn't put $50 on this team and have me watch this baseball game tonight.
Well, you might want to watch.
There's nothing.
On Thursday night, it looks like Bumgarner against Nola Thursday night, and that goes up against the Eagles preseason game. Although it's a late start because they're in San Francisco. But that one might get somebody's attention.
Well, that's going to be a 9-10 start or a 10-10 start?
Yeah, probably about 10-10 probably on the East Coast. But since 2017, the Phillies are 11-33 on the road against the National League West teams.
Yeah.
So they got 7 games coming up here against Arizona and San Francisco.
And they won't have Maikel Franco on there.
No. How about that news on Sunday? That rocked the sports world.
Yeah, seriously.
Maikel Franco sent down to AAA Lehigh Valley.
The Philadelphia sports landscape suffered an 8.6 on the Richter
scale. That was
a
Richter scale event.
That thing measured as high as we've seen so far. I mean, that's on the level of Ryan Howard getting called up. That's huge news right there. Maikel Franco getting demoted from that 8-hole hitter.
I mean, you think about this starting lineup and the starting rotation that you had at the beginning of the season, right? You had McCutchen. He gets hurt. He's done for the year. You had Herrera, who's an idiot and got suspended. Okay, you got Franco, who gets sent down, and you got 2 of your starting 5, Eflin and Pivetta, have been either sent down or sent to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Eichhoff's hurt. Eflin, Pivetta in the bullpen. Unbelievable.
I'm telling you, this team is atrocious.
Unbelievable.
If they find a way, and I know the Nationals are locked in with them, but if they find a way to, even if they make the playoffs, they should fire Gabe Kapler at this point. I mean, this team is just a train wreck. They lose to the White Sox, and he's so out of touch, just praising everybody. They lose to the White Sox, and he's sitting there just praising everybody.
I can't stand him.
So, okay, what you've done this year, if you make the playoffs, is you found a way to backdoor in through Major League Baseball's second opening. But the reality is that this is not a sustainable thing. You can tell right away that the current players, Gabe Kapler, the front office, this is not a good mix. Something needs to change, and chances are it's not going to be a guy making $30 million, and chances are it's not going to be the guy deciding who should be out.
No,
it's going to be the guy in the middle.
It would be the manager.
Yeah,
I don't think he's necessarily safe. I mean, we talked to Kevin Cooney last week, and I think he echoed those same sentiments. Maybe the manager might not be back. You don't know. I mean,
I don't think even if they make the second wild
card,
he's back.
I don't think that really matters. I mean, can you imagine the second wild card, and you're going up against the Nationals, and it's Scherzer against Velasquez. If they can't get
Roman Quinn.
They can't get, Roman Quinn will be coming in the 4th inning.
That's right. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, seriously, how about your boy Justin Vargas? You got a little action with Vargas over the weekend? You feel any better about that trade?
Well, Vargas looked okay.
Yeah, well, the team stinks. So
yeah, I know, but Vargas looked all right.
But that was the whole thing about the optics of that trade, was that they would bring in somebody who, at the very least, is better than all the slop that they parade
and he
out.
is.
It's terrible.
He's 36 years old, and he is better.
36 years old. The guy throws what?
Throws 86 to 88 on his fastball, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got Nola, Vargas, Quinn, and then everybody else.
Well, you got Smiley.
Well, okay,
you got two junk ballers,
right?
Vargas and Smiley that can't break glass.
Seriously, how far away are we from Roman Quinn being the fourth arm in this lineup?
Come on. Stop.
This is painful to watch, and I'm sorry, man, but I don't know why anybody continues. Like, you had an open practice last night.
40,000 plus.
And what did we
attendance.
say? 35, 37,000.
And I said I'd take the over on that.
No, you kept saying under and under.
No, I said I'd set it at 35 and I'd take the over. That's what I said.
Oh,
you wanted me to set it higher.
40, and you wouldn't take it. Now, it turns out it was 45 plus.
Was it 45?
Yeah, I think
because I know it was over 40,000.
All right, well, over 40,000.
But a great job by the Eagles fans showing up, man.
And they raised $500,000 for charity.
Yeah,
just under
it's great.
Yeah. But that was pretty cool to see. As far, you knew it was the only one. And, I mean, now you just have that signified everything coming back. So why, when you have the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night, would you, even if it's Nola, it's not like Nola, win-loss is not a pitcher stat, I know that, but it's not like Nola has been Cy Young this year.
Well, no, he's been pretty good. I mean, he got off to a slow start.
He wasn't what he's last year when he was battling.
No, but you do have that game starting at like 10-10. I mean, the Eagles game, outside of the first quarter or two, is really unwatchable. I mean, you're going to watch the second half of the first preseason game?
What are my options? What are my other options Thursday night? Is there must-see TV on NBC?
Well, I could rewatch the first round of the FedEx Cup playoff event at Liberty National. I could always do that.
Is Phil going to be there?
Yeah, they're all there.
Too much weight?
They're all there.
I didn't know if he fell down in a strain because he's down 30 pounds over the last 2 days. The guy's on that Hollywood diet. You remember you could buy that big thing in like it was like the original made-for-TV aisle, and you could buy this big Hollywood diet, like this big thing.
Is that what he's on?
The guy's lost like 20 pounds.
He was on a fast.
Is that what it was?
It was a fast.
It wasn't intermittent though.
No,
this was like 40 days. This is like back when we used to do in the desert.
Well, this is like he did like a 6-day fast or something right before a major event. I don't know how he expected to have any strength, but anyway, let's not go down a Phil rabbit hole. But there will be, what else is there to do between now and the start of football season? Forget about these preseason.
Baseball. I'm not watching baseball. I'm sorry, man. I'm not. Like, here's another thing, too. Do you really care about what the Yankees or Dodgers? And maybe
the Yankees just swept the Red Sox.
And lost another guy to the IL.
Yeah, well, they just keep on moving, though, man.
The Red Sox have been imploding.
Yeah, the Red Sox do nothing at the deadline and then get swept by the Yankees, dude.
Well, and then they've lost a couple. I think it's at least 7 straight that they've lost, if not more, right?
Well, the Phillies do have a couple of interesting series here. I was looking at the schedule.
What's interesting about this baseball team?
Well, I mean, because it's what you do in the summer.
We can't find anything else?
There's nothing else.
I promise you that there's something. Like, when is Hard Knocks? I'll reluctantly watch
That's the
Hard
Raiders
Knocks.
this year.
It is.
And I think it probably starts this week.
Well, do you see John Gruden? I'm sorry, Josh?
I think it starts this week.
I'll tell you this. You see how pissed off Josh Gruden is?
John Gruden. John Gruden?
Yeah, I combined Josh Henning and John Gruden. Do you see how pissed off John Gruden is knowing that HBO is upset that Antonio Brown's not in there because of quote-unquote foot injury?
We had an injury.
Well, maybe. I think that there's some disbelief going on.
Well, you don't think Antonio Brown, as much of a diva as he's now been exposed to being, wouldn't want to be a big part of this production?
Sox have lost 8 straight, by the way. I think that if it means sitting out of camp for as long as you possibly can, maybe.
Well, I mean, they could get some good footage of him in the ice tub, or getting his treatments.
You think that's something that
something off the field, like Antonio Brown, driving to his from his condo to the facility.
See, I think
a big Bentley or something.
Like you back up the Brinks truck, like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, here's the thing. I think that when you look at, I don't know, man. You raise a pretty good point. I was going to bring up a different way to look at it, but. I mean, you come in there and you're all boisterous, right? Mm-hmm. With what you have.
Yeah.
Sends a message.
Right.
All right.
And Antonio Brown is made for this show.
I guess what I was looking at, though, is Zeke right now is in Cabo San Lucas, right? San Lucas.
Allegedly working out.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I imagine anybody who is as important or somewhat of importance to their team like Ezekiel Elliott is, they're thinking maybe I could be out in Cabo. Or what's his Cabo? His Cabo could be, fishing on the coast of Seattle. I don't know. I don't judge. But maybe that's where he wants. Maybe he's looking at that thinking, why would I rush back? But you think it's more about the Hard Knocks thing.
Well, I mean, even if he's at the facility, he's injured, so he's got to be getting treatment, right?
Maybe. Or maybe he's just on his own.
I don't think he's
No, Gruden was upset that he wasn't there. All right, well, we'll look at Hard Knocks as a reality that we can watch that.
Yeah, I'm interested in Hard Knocks.
But that's once a week.
You got Mike Mayock, probably get some good FaceTime on there. I like Mayock.
You know what we need?
Gruden's good for this.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's once a week, though. It's an hour
I
a
know,
week, right?
I know.
All right, so we got that. That's fine. That's at least one thing.
I started rewatching The Wire.
Where are you?
I'm on
this?
episode 3.
Okay. So that'll take you through?
I'll be doing that this afternoon.
The start of the season?
Yeah.
Now, how many are you going to get
I don't
in?
know. I have no idea.
Now, what we really need is we need either some like gambler like we had before. We need some freak. We need somebody that we could just be locked to the television who's got some Jeopardy streak or some game show streak going.
Yeah, I know.
Like we need somebody. I
we
don't
need
know.
another Holes Hour.
Exactly.
Is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I don't know if it's necessarily a sports gambler, but we need somebody out there that we can look at and be like, oh, my God, look at that man, look at that woman. He or she has won, 9 straight Jeopardy games.
Yeah.
We need something that can be more of a daily occurrence because otherwise you're going to get sucked back in. I'm trying to pull you out of this quicksand that's pulling you out, all the life out of your soul. That's the Philadelphia Phillies season.
Well, I mean, they still got 7 with the Braves, 4 at home, 3 away. They got some interleague series against Cleveland, which is going to be tough. 3 games on the road. They got Boston, 2 separate series, 2 games home, 2 games away. 5 with the Nationals all in a row because I think they have a makeup game from one of those ones that was rained out.
Yep.
And they're all on the road. 5 games on the road with the Nationals could end up deciding the season.
What do you think? You're really deciding the season, not for the division, though.
No, for the wild card.
And maybe even in the sense of, like, I guess you're right. It would be they'd be locked in at that point. You'd have to fast forward a little bit.
They got 6 against the Marlins, which they have been prone to losing to. 3 at home, 3 away. 3 against the Cubs coming up after this West Coast trip at home. And then the Mets, they have 3 home and 3 away, amongst some other series. But those are some interesting opponents to me.
Okay. Yeah, listen,
look, man, I'm trying.
I get
I'm really trying.
Well, listen, it's normally, usually we start with Glenn here, but Rodney has jumped in and wildly.
Okay.
And I think, I understand you put out the beacon call and people responding, especially with the Maikel. I imagine that people were devastated. Like they found out a relative's pet died when they heard the news that Maikel Franco had been demoted to AAA. Rodney's in Wildwood, joins Mays and Eytan on 97.3 ESPN. Rodney.
Yes. Tell me what the problem is with Franco and Kapler. This guy stinks as a manager, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I don't know that there's any, problem between the manager and the player. It's just the organization. He only can play one position. That's really the problem. They got other guys that can play multiple positions. So he's sort of the odd man out, and he hasn't been having a good year at all. I don't think it's a beef between the manager and the Franco. I'm not a Kapler fan either. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I don't get it with this Kapler.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they tried to trade him and probably
when he
couldn't get a good deal for him.
Yeah, I wish he would get traded. So, I don't think he's a great player, but he's a hell of a better fielder than anybody he puts at third base.
That is true. That is very true. And Kingery's going to be playing the third base load. They could lose a game or two with Kingery at third base versus Franco's glove.
And you're going to have to now still have him overcompensate with the bat. Here's the thing, Roddy, good call,
a couple
man.
hits yesterday. Yeah, thanks for the call.
Here's what I would say before we get to Glenn. Any value that he had, any value that you could work through for him on the open market is gone.
Now it's destroyed for off-season.
For what,
You'd have to put him in a package in the off-season to move him now.
And that's the thing. For what?
Right.
To win 1 or 2 more games? Are you really I mean, is that going to be the key difference? They should have traded him. And again, this is not just the manager. It's not just Gabe Kapler. They should have traded him when they could. They should have traded him before the deadline if they knew that the line was so thin, teetering up between the majors and AAA, knowing what AAA would do to his value. Like, how can you not see that? Right?
Yeah.
If you're a general manager and you're looking at this guy struggle a month ago, how can you not see ahead of time, hey, you know what? If we don't trade him, we're going to have to drop him to AAA, and then good luck trading him in the offseason.
Well, right, and you might lose him. Like, he'll lose his head. You know what I'm saying? If you might
I think he's already gone.
Well, it could be, but
he loses his
I
helmet.
don't know that this turns him around.
No.
This move. But
No.
Paul Hagen wrote a great piece in the Philly Voice about this, and they tried this. They did this a year or so ago with Eflin. It was last year, I think.
Yeah.
Where they put him down to the minors for a little bit. He hasn't been the same guy since.
No. And it does something to you. And I don't know if Maikel Franco necessarily has shown in his DNA that he's the type of guy to respond to something like this.
I don't think so either.
And again, something that if you've been in tune with this player as a manager/general manager, you must know. Like, Gabe is the ultimate loving on him, right? Outside of Doug, who invented that phrase. So how the hell is he not aware of that?
Yeah, but Doug has some tough love, though, too. I don't know that Gabe even has that gear.
Okay, let me ask you this question, right? And we'll get to Glenn and EHT. The text board's up and running, 609-403-0973, at Harry Mays to you, at Shander Show. What do you think the worst thing Gabe ever has said, chastised his player with in public?
Oh,
like,
in public?
No, I'm saying like...
Or just in his office?
No, I mean like, get your head out of your ass would probably be super high on the list of, like, the most offensive things.
Oh, that'd be vulgar.
Yeah,
that'd
I don't
be
even
vulgarity.
know. Do you think Gabe has... Do you think
No.
Gabe has get your head out of your ass in him?
No, he might give you a look. Maybe he does it nonverbal with the look. Like, my old man used to do that. With the look.
But I mean, something would come from the look.
I
right?
just got the look from my father.
But hold
Look
on a
out.
second. The look meant something was going to be behind it when you got it from your old man.
Usually there would be a discussion a little bit later. He just didn't want to embarrass himself or me in public, but he gave you the look.
Oh, this is in public.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what you're saying about Gabe.
Well, yeah, no, I guess I thought that you meant like the look was the first step in before he takes the belt out.
No. Well, that came out. But no. It would be like, let's say we were at a relative's house, or we were somewhere, maybe some colleague's place for the at a summer night cookout.
And you
or
said
something
to
and I
embarrass the
did
family.
something that maybe made him look bad.
Right.
I'd get the look.
Now, how often?
And then I knew on the drive home there was going to be the discussion.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Gabe, I can see doing that. I can see Gabe kind of giving a guy and making a mental note and bringing up. But here's the thing. I guarantee you that the nature of Gabe's discussion is much different than the nature of your old man's discussion.
Oh, totally. Right. Oh, absolutely.
Which, again, the look, you almost feel like the look with Gabe is hollow. It's like shooting a blank at you. You know, you have the initial thought of, oh, my God, a gun's being shot at me. But then you realize, wait a second, there's no ammo behind that.
Well, maybe Gabe gives him the look and then goes and tells the bench coach to go have a word with the player.
Oh, man. So he puts it on somebody else
Yeah,
now?
maybe.
All right. What do you think the worst thing he's ever said to somebody in public is? As a manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, what do you think the worst thing he's ever said to a player as far as to reprimand/chastise?
I'm deeply disappointed in you.
Really?
Maybe that's where it goes.
And it has like that croak tone with it, where
the little croak.
He's holding back.
He's getting emotional.
Not Matt and Gareth Croak, who run the bars down in Washington D.C., the Eagles transplants, who are listening on Facebook, right? Not those croaks.
No, not those.
Where do I begin?
Yeah, we're talking as far as the croak voice.
Right.
Now, I agree though that I don't think that you would get any. Like, Gabe would never go out there and have a soundbite that we would have more bleeps, like the Bob Menery cut that probably has more bleeps than not in it.
Yeah.
That would never be Gabe. I guarantee you.
We've got another Bob Menery.
I know, that's why I reference it.
With regards to Baker Mayfield at the Cleveland Indians game.
Well, how about a mustache on that guy? Huh?
I love the mustache. I'd like to bring the mustache back.
Why don't you?
Well, I mean, because my wife probably wouldn't like it.
No?
Because I've flirted with it before. I've
had the mustache for a little bit.
I've gone, what would you think about just the mustache? No.
The problem with the mustache is I feel like it highlights, and I'm not saying your as in specific, I mean your as in plural pronoun. It highlights your out there, all of our, maybe that's a better word, double to triple chin. When you have The beard, you can control the line on it
Right.
and kind of mask a little bit of the fact that there might not be some chin line.
Mm-hmm.
But when you just have the mustache, it draws dual attention. It draws attention to the mustache
Right.
and also the fact that you don't have anything in there.
Well, it also would draw attention to my teeth.
Well,
the
it's-
part in my teeth, too.
But you seem to embrace that.
Well, yeah, I don't care.
We just called you Gap Daddy last
People
week.
seem more concerned about that than me.
That's your gamer tag, Gap Daddy.
That's right. But
Oh, by the way, great tweet, by the way.
what about keeping the scruff like I have, but then just letting the mustache grow in thicker?
I feel like that is...
Is that a violation?
It's not a violation. That's just a low-budget look, man.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, that's just... Like, the mustache should be treated properly. The mustache should not just be an extension of failing to groom. And I think when the mustache is just an extension of the failure to groom, you look like you got, I'm going to say, I'm sure there's going to be judgmental statements abound. So, I don't know. It's a low-budget look, man. That's all I'll say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're better than that.
All right.
Because here's the thing. You dress better than that.
Well, then we'll just keep the scruff.
There's no – how long – all right, let me ask you a question. You go home, you shave around the mustache. Mm-hmm. You've got very little scruff right now, right? Mm-hmm. It's not, like, thick.
No, I trimmed it on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Before I went to play golf at Ridgewood, I needed to look
somewhat
nice.
Now, how many days do you have until she comes down and says something about the mustache? Right away?
If I just let it grow?
Just as it is, you cut around it right now.
Right, and then I let that go for maybe a week. She'd probably notice it and say something.
You know what, though? A week's not bad.
Yeah.
You can get some good Instagram pics from a week's worth of growth.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I don't do this for Instagram pics.
Come on.
No.
I mean, you're going to be
I
up.
don't really post pictures of myself on Instagram.
You know it's going to be up there, though.
Yeah.
All right, let's get Glenn up in EHT. What's up, Glenn?
Yo, fellas, what's going on?
What's up, Glenn?
You guys were talking about Antonio Brown and his feet problem.
Yeah.
I say to that, boo, bleeping who. I really, as far as I'm concerned, I hope he struggles the whole time out there. Granted, I don't want him to have anything serious, but if this foot problem keeps him off the field, I hope so. I hope it's all karma. I hope it all comes back to him. I hope he's in hell out there in Oakland. That's what I mean, please.
Now, are you saying this as a Steelers fan?
Of course. He
I knew it.
Good thing. He messed up a good thing. I mean, come on.
Who are you more mad at, Bell or Brown or the Steelers? Prioritize it for us.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, I'm more mad at Brown. I mean, I just think he's had so many different me moments, so I think this here, too, was about me, and it was about his contract and wanting to get more money, knowing the Steelers aren't a team that really is flexible when it comes to the money. He forced his way out, and he got another contract in Oakland. And he really messed up a good thing. So anything that comes on to him in Oakland, to me, is karma. Let it happen.
Okay. The thing about your team, though, is they always seem to just be able to move on.
Oh, I totally agree. Over the years, they've always been able to put a player in there and make it happen. But I think he was special. And, I mean, he's going to realize that the quarterback that was thrown to him was special, too.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Believe me. And Carr's good, but he's not bad. So we'll see what happens.
No, you're right about that.
Karma coming back to him.
Hey, real quick on the Phillies, Glenn.
I'm with you.
What do you have on the Phillies?
Oh, the Maikel Franco thing. I mean, what is that? I don't even know what to say. When I saw that yesterday, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I'd love to know how you make a move like that at this point in the season. I mean, who's that? Is that Kapler? Is that the organization? Who makes
that move? That's the general managers. That's
right.
Not Kapler.
But that's the thing. And listen, brother, we love you, man.
They got all these outfielders now. When Bruce comes back, he might be coming back here pretty soon.
How do you not look ahead? That's the thing, right? I mean, this just looks reactionary. And during the time of the stupid deadline, especially when you don't have a second deadline to hit, it just seems like poor planning. And I know we're talking about a guy in Maikel Franco who was the freaking 8-hole hitter, but that just shows you.
He had a great April.
Yeah, he did. He was the best 8-hole hitter.
Best 8-hole hitter in April.
How about that? Jeez.